Okay, the purpose of this video is to review some of the settings that you can configure in Accuware's label connector for QuickBooks. There are a few things that you do have to set to get the system running properly. We're not going to interact with QuickBooks in this video. It's mainly to show you some of the things that you can do to set up the software. Probably the most important settings are contained under the general settings because they affect pretty much all functionality of the software. So in the background of the label connector, we use bartender label designs, and we'll have other videos to cover that as well. But when you create a label design in bartender for use with the label connector, you need to go ahead and select the folder that you would be storing your label designs in for bartender. So let's just say in this instance we decide to use the Accuware folder. So we'll go ahead and just set that setting. So this is how the label connector software knows where your bartender label files are stored, so that when we search for orders, your templates will appear in the drop down in our software. So this is very important. You're not going to be able to print without setting this setting. The other thing is there's different types of orders that the system can be used with. So if you want to, like for example, use sales orders as your standard order that you're going to use most often, then we suggest you set the mode here so that the settings will be set in the software for use with that mode. Let me just set that again here. I forgot to save that. Okay, exit. Alright, so here you can see now it's going to open up and use sales orders by default. So this way there you're not having to adjust those radio buttons on an ongoing basis. Now the three types of orders that we use currently, you can use invoices, sales orders, and purchase orders, but you can also print from the items list using the whole items list for QuickBooks. But for all of these modes, there's a setting where you can set the software to print quantity 1 label for each line item on the order, or to print the quantity of labels for each line item that's equal to the order quantity. So for example, if the first line item of the invoice has quantity 5 for that item, then setting it this way will print 5 labels for that first line item on the order. And if the second line item on the invoice has 10 for the quantity, then it would print 10 labels for that second line item on that invoice. So conversely, if you want to just print 1 label per line item with the quantity from the invoice or from the order to appear on the label, then you would set it this way. So we'll just go ahead and just save that. Now you can set that behavior in all the modes. Sales orders has the same setting to set the quantity equal to 1 or to the sales order quantity. You can also do that for purchase orders as well. So you can set it either way. So there's a couple different general settings here that you got to get right, and then the software will function. Will cooperate for you a lot more. There's a lot more settings here that we can go through that have more details. For example, the item list screen we'll cover in another video. But there's some other details here for specific applications, but they don't apply as frequently, so we can cover those either individually with customers or in future videos. Hope this helps. This again is the sort of the major settings that you have to have right to get the software running in its most basic way initially. Thanks.